Bro, so there's a clip that's been going around, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. It's Ellen DeGeneres on her own show saying the exact phrase that basically became her whole brand. Be kind to one another. Said it every single episode for 19 years. But stay with me, because what was happening behind the cameras while she was saying that line, completely different story. And by the end of this, you're gonna understand why she went from America's sweetheart to selling off homes and getting stuck in one of the most awkward interviews of her career. Wait for it. It gets messier than you think. Okay, so quick rewind. Ellen DeGeneres was, for like 2 decades, one of the safest, most likable people in Hollywood. Daytime Emmys stacked to the ceiling, dancing in the aisles, giving away cars, surprising teachers with checks. The whole Queen of Nice persona, that wasn't just a bit, that was the entire business model. Networks, advertisers, everybody bought into it because it printed money. And then 2020 hits. No cap. This is when everything starts cracking. So multiple former staffers, not anonymous randoms, actual named employees who worked on set, start coming forward. And here's where it gets crazy. The claims weren't just, oh, she was a little difficult. We're talking a workplace culture people described as built on fear. Some staff said they were told never to make eye contact with Ellen in the hallway. Like actual instructions. Don't look at her. Don't talk to her. Let her walk to her car in silence. Think about that for a second. This is the same woman signing off every single day with, be kind to one another.
Do you guys mind if we sit here and talk about Ellen DeGeneres for a second? Because her story, it's a really interesting story. At one point in her life, she was one of Hollywood's biggest success stories. Now, not so much. Ellen Lee DeGeneres was born on January 26, 1958 in Louisiana. She did not come from Hollywood. She came from a regular Southern family. But her childhood, by her own account, was not easy. When her parents got divorced, her mother remarried a man by the name of Roy. Years later, Ellen would reveal that her stepfather, Roy, as a teenager, using the pretext of her mother's cancer diagnosis, he would use that excuse to put his hands on her. He would say that her mom had lumps on her, so he had to feel Ellen just to be safe. She was roughly 15, 16 years old at the time. She told her mother did not believe her. In fact, she stayed married to that man for 18 more years. Ellen started doing stand-up comedy in New Orleans in the 1980s, dropping out of the University of New Orleans after exactly 1 semester. She did well enough there that she started working her way up to bigger and better things, but her big break came in 1986 when Johnny Carson called her one of the funniest people in America after she appeared on his show, The Tonight Show. It was her first appearance on national television, and she was the first female comedian on that specific show. That put Ellen on the national radar. By the early 1990s, she had made the move to LA, and she was having conversations about her next move. Then in 1994, she joined the ABC sitcom These Friends of Mine. That show was renamed Ellen after only the first season, and by the 3rd season, it was regularly placing in the top 20 most watched shows on American television. Ellen DeGeneres was what everyone called a rising star. But then things changed.
Warner Media opened an internal investigation. Multiple senior producers got fired. And once that story broke, it wasn't just one outlet. It snowballed everywhere because the contrast was just too juicy not to cover. The nice lady brand versus the internal reports. That gap is what actually killed the show, not just one bad headline. And honestly, people started going back through old clips with new eyes. Remember the Dakota Johnson interview? Ellen jokes about not being invited to her birthday party. Dakota calmly goes, "You were invited." And then Ellen's own producer confirms it live on air. Ellen just got caught on her own show in real time.
Selena Gomez trying to expose Ellen DeGeneres in this interview.
Oh, I thought that you were going to scare me when I came in. I don't know why. So in my dressing room, you have the bathroom with the cameras. So I put towels all over the camera. And I went and peed in Kobe Bryant's dressing room because I was scared.
Well, you're right. I was trying to scare you. You got here an hour early, and I was trying to scare you, and it was too. So it doesn't matter if you put the stuff over the cameras. I had to be in there, and you got here before I could get. I was going to hide.
See?
You were right.
Yes.
You ruined it.
I'm sorry.
You ruined it.
I'm sorry.
Oh well, that's okay.
I'll get you, my pretty. I'll get you.
First of all, her explanation didn't even make sense. Second of all, a lot of people posted that she looked kind of concerned, like she's like kind of nervous. But having cameras in your dressing room is obviously very concerning, and I do wonder, like, were there cameras in the dressing rooms all the time? Because she's had hundreds of kids on the show. And this interview with Dakota Johnson is so passive-aggressive, it's crazy.
Of course I like you. You knew I liked you. You've been on the show many times, and don't I show like?
Yeah, but I did invite you and you didn't come. So
This time you invited me?
yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah.
How do you know? I don't think so.
Ask everybody. Ask Jonathan, your producer. Who said
Okay.
you were?
I
Yeah,
was
he's
invited.
right there.
Why didn't I go?
I don't know.
Was it? Oh yeah, I had that thing.
Let me know what you guys think about this. This video has resurfaced, and a lot of people have thoughts about it. A lot of people think that Selena did that on purpose to expose her. But yeah, Give us a like and a follow if you're into pop culture.
That clip did numbers again once the toxicity stories broke, because suddenly it wasn't just an awkward moment, it was a pattern. People started asking, okay, what else was being smoothed over on camera that wasn't actually true behind the scenes? Ratings start dropping, sponsors get nervous, her game show spin-off quietly disappears. By 2022, the empire that took 20 years to build was basically done in about 18 months.
It's been 7 years since Dakota Johnson knocked over the first domino that would eventually lead to the public downfall of Ellen DeGeneres, and now we have people who don't know that lore. Her interview on Ellen was so consequential that it has its own very dense Wikipedia page, but here's a recap for the uninitiated. Ellen DeGeneres, if you don't know, is a stand-up comic turned sitcom star, turned undeserved social pariah, turned beloved daytime TV talk show host, turned deserved social pariah. She built her public persona around being nice, which is always a precarious thing to do. Her whole thing was kindness and dancing and we're just having fun, and even with everything that came out later, it can never be erased that she had a truly seismic effect on society by being able to reach your homophobic aunt in her living room every day for 19 years and be relatable. We literally wouldn't have a marriage without Ellen. But to set the scene, in 2019, she was truly at her peak power. She was the 12th highest paid entertainer in the world, worth hundreds of millions of dollars. She had 33 Emmys, the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom, amongst many other awards. And she was 17 seasons into one of the highest rated daytime TV.
Joe Rogan has criticized Ellen DeGeneres on several occasions throughout the years, particularly following the workplace controversy surrounding the Ellen DeGeneres Show. During episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience, Rogan questioned the contrast between Ellen's long-standing be kind public image and allegations from former employees who described a toxic work environment behind the scenes. He has also been critical of her stand-up comedy, suggesting that she is not among the strongest comedians, and arguing that her career as a daytime television host changed her approach to comedy. While Rogan has openly mocked aspects of her public persona and career, he has also dismissed some of the more extreme or speculative claims made about her, making it clear that his criticism is generally focused on her professional reputation rather than unverified allegations. As recently, there have been a lot of claims regarding her connection with the Epstein files and how she too played this perfect persona, but evidently behind the scenes was hated by many, and everyone has lost respect for her. But here's where it actually gets interesting, because this is the part most people miss. After the show ends, Ellen and her wife relocate to England, and publicly, she frames it as political, says she doesn't want to live under a certain administration, talks about protecting LGBTQ rights, the whole thing. Sounds like a principled stand, right? Except, and stay with me here, Ellen has a well-documented history of flipping real estate. We're talking over 50 properties over 2 decades. At one point, she owned more than 20 homes in Southern California alone. This is not a side hobby for her. This is basically a second career. So she buys a countryside estate in England for around $20 million, lives there for barely a month, then brings in a renovation crew, reportedly around 70 people, and finishes a total overhaul in about 10 weeks. Then lists the property for roughly $10 million more than she paid. 10 weeks, $10 million markup, that is not fleeing political turmoil. That's a flip. And if a home briefly qualifies as your primary residence, there are real tax advantages on the capital gains. We're talking potentially millions in savings on a sale like that. Then, less than a year later, she's reportedly back in the States. So was it ever actually about politics? Or was the whole "I'm never coming back" narrative just really good cover for a real estate play with a built-in tax break? Look, nobody's saying Ellen committed a crime here. Flipping houses isn't illegal, but when you spend 2 decades building a brand on kindness and simplicity, and then the actual pattern that emerges is fear-based management behind the scenes, and a suspiciously well-timed, suspiciously profitable property flip dressed up as a political statement, that's a credibility problem. That's the real story. The Be Kind era didn't end because of one scandal. It ended because the gap between the persona and the pattern finally got too wide to ignore. What do you think? Was the move genuinely political, or was it a business decision wearing a principled costume? Drop it in the comments. And if you want more breakdowns like this, you know what to do. See you in the next one. Anyway, this concludes today's video. Be sure to subscribe to LoafTube for future celebrity videos and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Until then, see you in the next one.